Hey everyone, it's Hailey and today is Bookmas Day 12, so I'm going to be talking about the book to movie or book to TV show adaptations that are coming out in 2020. So I did the best I possibly could to research for this video, but it's kind of hard because things can change in the movie or film industry so quickly and nothing is a sure deal. So there might be some books that you've heard are being adapted, but they're not necessarily coming out in 2020, or they're supposed to come out in 2020, but it might not actually happen. Like, I think there's a couple that were supposed to come out in 2019 that I still haven't even seen. So some of these are for sure happening, some of them aren't, but either way, I'm very excited about them. So let's get into the list. Also, in case you missed it, yesterday's Bookmas video was talking about 2019 adaptations, so if you wanted to know more about those, I will link that down below for you guys. It looks like 2020 is going to be another big year for adaptations, and a lot of that is thanks to Netflix. Netflix is just coming in clutch with the book to movie adaptations. It's wild. So first is Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. This is supposed to be coming out as a Netflix adaptation. It is a classic ghost story that's being adapted, but it's Lily James and Arnie Hammer, and it looks like it's actually going to happen, and fingers crossed that it will. That would be like a perfect Halloween time watch. Next is All the Bright Places by Jennifer Niven. This is coming out as a Netflix adaptation on January 1st, and I personally won't be watching it because I kind of hated that book, but it is happening. Next is P.S. I Still Love You by Jenny Han. I'm so excited for this. This is the sequel to All the Boys I've Loved Before, and it is coming out on February 12th, so perfect just in time for Valentine's Day. We get all the characters that we had in the last one, but we also have the addition of Jordan Fisher is starring as John Ambrose, and oh, I'm just so excited. They did such a great job with the first one that I think the second one is going to be excellent as well, and it's perfect for Valentine's Day, so well timed. Next is Call of the Wild by Jack London. There's actually quite a few classic adaptations that are supposed to be coming out in 2020. So Call of the Wild is about a dog that gets stolen and sold in the Yukon during the gold rush, and honestly, I won't be watching this because it just seems like it's gonna be sad. But it's starring Karen Gillan, Harrison Ford, Wes Brown, and Dan Stevens, and it's coming out February 21st, so it has quite a few big names, and it should be good. Also, it's live action but CGI animated, so like, I'm intrigued, but I won't watch it because I know it's gonna make me sad. Next is Artemis Fowl by Eoin Colfer. I've never actually read the series. I know a lot of people read it when they were younger. It's a middle grade series, but it was supposed to come out in 2019 and had been pushed to 2020, and now it's supposed to come out March 29th, and it is starring Judi Dench and Josh Gad, among others. And honestly, I don't know what the series is about, but I know that it has a huge fan base of people who read it when they were younger, so hopefully the adaptation lives up to what everyone has been waiting for. Next is The Woman in the Window by AJ Finn. This is supposed to be coming out May 15th, and it is an adaptation of the adult thriller. It was supposed to come out in 2019 as well, but the audiences weren't really receptive to it, so they went back and are editing things to try and make it better, and it is starring Amy Adams, who was also in Gone Girl, so apparently she's just the adult thriller adaptation girl. Next is one that I'm very excited for, and that is The One and Only Ivan by Katherine Applegate, which is being adapted by Disney, and I think they are going to do such a great job with it. It is coming out August 14th, and if you haven't read that book, it is a middle grade story all about a gorilla who lives in this mall, and it's about him living in captivity and how he wants to be free, and oh my goodness, it's so sad, and I think that Disney is going to do a great job of it, and it's 100% gonna make me cry, but I will still probably see this one, even though it's gonna be kind of difficult. Next is The Witches by Roald Dahl. This is supposed to come out October 16th, and it is starring Anne Hathaway, who I love, so I think she can do no wrong. Also Stanley Tucci and Octavia Spencer, who also can do no wrong. Like, what a cast. But I've never actually read The Witches. It's once again a middle grade novel, but it is in a world where there are these witch-hating children, no, children-hating witches is what I meant to say, and there's conflict there obviously, and it's coming out just in time for Halloween, so I'm looking forward to it. Now the last few are rumored to be 2020 releases, but there's no specific date for them, but fingers crossed we get them. Six of Crows is kind of one of them, but not really, but I'm hoping that we will get that adaptation on Netflix in 2020. I feel like that seems very soon, so it's not included on this list. So next is Cursed by Frank Miller and Thomas Wheeler. This is coming out as a Netflix adaptation with an unknown release date, but it is a King Arthur retelling. Catherine Langford is also leading in this. You might know her from 13 Reasons Why, so it has a pretty good cast. Next is Dash and Lily's Book of Dares by Rachel Cohn and David Levithan, which you guys know I've read last Christmas and really enjoyed it, so I'm excited for this adaptation. It is coming out as a TV series, which is interesting, but it is once again Netflix. Just Netflix is doing everything, or at least their information is the easiest to find. Speaking of Netflix, next is Tiny Pretty Things by Sona, Charaipotra, and Dhonielle Clayton. This is a story that is set in a ballet academy and follows many characters who are trying to make it to be prima ballerina. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be a series or a movie, but either way, I want to read this book and then watch this adaptation. I think Netflix will do a great job with it. Next is One of Us is Lying by Karen M. McManus. This will be adapted on NBC's new streaming service, and it will be probably coming out when the streaming service does, but that's a Breakfast Club sort of mystery story, and I personally didn't like the book that much, but I think I might be interested in seeing what the adaptation is like. Next is Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda by Becky Albertalli. This is being adapted into Love, Simon by Disney once again, so it will be coming out as a TV series this time on Disney+. They did such an amazing job with the movie that I'm very excited for this, but I also don't know what they're going to do because they've used all the book material, so I feel like it's just going to be taking some of the characters and making a story out of it and using that universe, but I'm interested to see what they're going to do with it. And finally is Our Chemical Hearts by Krysta Sutherland. This is a boy meets girl romance being adapted by Amazon, and it is starring Lily Reinhart, who's from Riverdale, which I've never seen, but I have heard of her, so I feel like it's going to be a cute YA romance movie, and I'm here for that. So those are all of the 2020 adaptations that I know about, at least. If there's any that you know about that I didn't talk about on this list, please do leave a comment with it down below because I would like to know about it, and I'm sure all of you watching would also like to know. But I think I got to most of them. Like I said, it's really hard because there's some that have been announced as being adapted, but the year isn't announced, and yeah, it gets to be confusing. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to click that subscribe button, then click that bell icon so you'll be notified whenever I post. I'm posting 21 videos over the course of December, so you'll want to watch all of those. And you can also follow me on all of my social media. All of my handles and links and all that stuff are down below for you guys. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!